Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Learn Math with Priti. The topic which we are going to start today is expressions, formulae and equations. So we will cover all these topics in this chapter, which is a chapter 2 of grade 7. So let's start. So the chapter is expressions, formulae and equations. So as before starting the topic, we first understand what are the terms in the topic. So there are three terms here in this topic. So we'll one by one understand what are the three terms first. So what is an expression? Expression is a combination of numbers, variable and operations. Mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So these are expressions. They are the combinations of number, variables and operations. It does not have equal to sign because it is an expression. So for example, I'll give you, it is if we say x plus 2, where x is the variable which keeps on changing. Variable means which varies. Varies means which changes. So this is a variable, this is a mathematical operation. It can be plus, minus, multiply, divide, anything, and there will be a number with it. Sometimes it is 5x plus 3. There can be any other letter instead of x. It can be a to z, any letter. There can be any numbers. So this here becomes the variable. This here is the operation. This is the constant. And there is one more number with the variable that is not called constant. The number with the variable is called as the coefficient of the variable. It's the partner of this variable. Whatever variable will be there, the partner of that variable is called its coefficient. So here if you say 5 is the coefficient of x, here if there is nothing, that means 1 is the coefficient of x. Okay, so like that you may have 3y plus 7. So here if you see, this is the constant, the sign is plus, you can have minus also. This y is the variable and the number with the variable is called as the coefficient. So expressions understood, it is a combination of number, variables and there are operations, all the four operations. Okay, in that we have variable, coefficient and constant. So those are expression, and expression never has equal to sign, always remember. Okay, now what are formulae? Formulae are used to, formula is actually a connection between two or more variables. Okay, so if you see, there are so many formulas. For example, I'll just give you force is equals to mass into acceleration. So here it's force, mass and acceleration. There are three different variables. So it is a connection between the three variables, right? So formula means basically it is the connection between two or more variables. They are called formula. In formula we always have an equal to sign. Okay, and on the other hand, equations are similar to expressions, only one difference. 5x plus 3 equal to, there will be something, either 2y plus z or 5. So 5x plus 3 is equals to 5. This becomes an equation. It also has variable, constant, also coefficient, everything same as an expression, but in addition it has equal to sign. Then it becomes an equation. So I hope it's very well understood what are expression, formulae and equations. Okay, so expressions, again I'll tell you, it is a combination of variable and their operations and number, but it does not have equal to sign. Formula is the connection between two or more variables, and equations also having variable, constant, coefficient along with the equal to sign. Okay, so this is what is the meaning of the topic expression, formula and equations. Okay, now in this there is the first subtopic. There are 6 subtopics, so we'll go one by one. First one is constructing expressions. Now, as the topic is self-explanatory, constructing expressions means you have to construct, means you have to make an expression. Now we all know what are expression, right? So you have to make an expression from the given question. Okay, in this expression, when you want to make an expression, the unknown which is not given, we always represent it by a variable because it is not known to us, right? So we just name it by any of the variable, right? Variable means a letter from A to Z. Okay, and there will be a line in words given. We need to understand that, and then we need to convert that into the form of an expression. Okay, so there is nothing more to explain how to construct expressions. So let's take up examples so that we understand how do we actually construct expressions. Okay, so we'll just take up some examples showing how to construct the expressions. So this is the first example. Jake thinks of a number n. We have to write an expression for the number Jake gets when first he multiplies the number by 6 and then adds 1. Second, he divides the number by 4 and then adds 5. Third, he multiplies the number by 2 and then subtracts 3. So we have to find out 4 different equations. So we'll start with the first one. See, the first one multiplies the number by 6 and then adds 1. So that number which they are talking about is given as n. So what we will do, we will multiply 6 by n. So 6n, and then we will add 1. So this is the expression for the first one. Now for the second one, divides the number by 4 then adds 5. That means the number again means n. So n will be divided by 4 and then we will add 5. The third expression is multiplies the number by 2 then subtracts 3. So first we will multiply n by 2 and then we will subtract 3. So it is 2n minus 3, and the last expression will be divides the number by 10 and then subtracts 7. So we will divide n by 10 and then we will do subtract 7. Okay, so this is the first example. I hope we have understood how to create an expression. These are very simple statements. You just need to create the expression for the given statement in words. So we'll take up one more. So if you see the second example here, write an expression for each of the following description. Again, we need to write expression for the description given below. So again, there are 4 expressions to be written. 1/2 of x, add 8. Okay, 1/2 of x means half x. So we will write half of x, add 8 means plus 8. Second, 3/4 of x, subtract 12 means we will write 3/4 means 3/4 of x minus 12. Third, 7 add 4/5 of x. 7 add means first we will add 7. 7 plus 4/5 of x. And then the fourth one, 20 subtract 5/9 of x means 20 minus 5/9 means 5/9 of x. So these are also creating expressions only, but these are all in fraction form. Okay, the same way, but there are fractions. Now if you see the B question, it says describe each expression in words. Now till now the expression were given in words. You had to find out in the form of expression. We need to write down in the form of an expression. Now expressions are already given to us. We will write it in the form of words. So how do we do that? The first one is x by 6 plus 2. That means what do we write? We write 1/6 of x, add 2 for the first one. Second is 5/7 of x, right? So we will write 5/7 of x, subtract 4. and the last one 8 is first. So we will write 8 subtract 2/3 of x. So here we have done both. Here we have converted words to expressions. Here we have converted expressions to words back. So both conversion are done here. Okay. Now the last example for constructing the equation and also solving the equation. We will do that. Here it's given the shortest side of a triangle is y centimeter. The second side is 3 centimeter longer than the shortest side, and the third side is twice as long as the second side. We have to write an expression. Also we have to convert it into the simplest form for the perimeter of the triangle. First thing, triangle has how many sides? 3 sides. Obviously the 3 sides, the shortest side is already given. We know the second and the third side also. The relation between the first, second and third side are given. What is the perimeter? Perimeter is the sum of all the sides. That means we will add side number 1 plus side number 2 and side number 3. Okay, so the first shortest side is y plus the second side is 3 centimeter longer. Longer means plus 3. So second side becomes y plus 3, and we will add the third side also. Now what is the third side? The third side is twice as long as the second side, means 2 times this second side, this. So 2 times y plus 3. So this is the expression for the perimeter of the triangle. But now we will simplify this. We will open the brackets and write the expression in the simplest form. So y will be as it is. This is also as it is. Now we will open this bracket. This becomes 2y plus 6. Now first we will collect all the like terms. That is 4y plus 9. So this is the simplest form. Means we need to open the bracket wherever possible, and then we collect the like terms, and then we write the answer in the simplest form. So this is all about the first subtopic. Now we will start with the second one. Second subtopic is using expression and formulae. It is related to the first topic only, not so much different. Expression we all know. Formula, as I told you, will explain again. It is the relation between two or more quantities. Okay, that is called as a formula. Formulae, actually when we have only one formula we write it formula, but when we have many we write formulae. It becomes a plural. So normally when we talk about formula, the variable which is on the left side is the subject, and everything else on the right side helps to find out the value of the subject. But sometimes the subject is on the right, this side sometimes. So what do? We just rearrange. We rearrange everything and change the subject. So this rearranging and changing the variable from left to right and right to left, this is called as changing the subject. And while changing the subject, while rearranging this, we always follow the same order which we follow in BODMAS. In BODMAS, what order do we follow? First we solve the brackets, then brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. But here we talk about brackets and indices. So brackets and indices are solved first. After that we solve division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Last are addition and subtraction. Last is that. Before that we finish the brackets, indices, then multiplication, division, multiplication, and then the last is addition, subtraction. So we'll just take up few examples to understand first thing how to solve the expressions given. Okay, because they have written using expressions and formulae. So how do we have to solve expression? That also we need to understand. Suppose there is an expression given 8m minus 5. Now they give us the value of m is minus 2. So at now what you will do? Now the value of m here is already given as minus 2. So you will just put minus 2 in place of m and rewrite the expression. So what does it become? 8 minus 2 is minus 16 minus 5. So the answer becomes minus 21. Okay. So the answer for this is minus 21. Means solving this expression got us the answer minus 21. Now second one, they're telling that the cost of a journey to travel somewhere, is $6 plus $2 per kilometer further. Okay. So they want us to write this expression first in words, second in the form of letters, and they want us to solve and get the answer for 35 for traveling 35 kilometers. If someone has to travel 35 kilometers. So again I'll repeat the question. Cost of journey to travel is $6. Basic $6 is the fare plus $2 plus kilometers per kilometer. That means wherever you have to travel, $2 per kilometer according to the kilometer, and $6 will be extra standard price, which is there to travel any distance you travel. $6, the rate starts after $6 only. So now we have to write that in words. So how do we write that in words? We write it simply. Cost of journey is equals to 2 times distance covered plus 6. Okay, so this is in words. Cost of the journey is equals to 2 into the distance covered or traveled plus $6. Okay, this is written in words. Now I'll write that in letters. Cost I will give by C, 2 into distance will write by D plus 6. So this becomes C is equals to 2D plus 6. This becomes a formula, right? Because we have two variables here, right? And this is a relation between the two variables. So this becomes a formula. Now third, they want us to find the answer for traveling 35 kilometers. So the cost will be 2 into 35 plus 6. So this becomes $76. So the cost of the journey is $76 to travel how many kilometers? 35 kilometers. Okay. So this is how do we solve expressions, how do we get formulae, how do we find the formulae, and we write the answer using the formula. Okay. Next example we will take to change the subject. Now as I told you, not necessary every time you will have subject on the left. Sometimes the subject will be on the right. So if suppose we have the formula F is equals to W upon P. Okay, W is given as 60 and P is given as 12. So we can find out F very nicely. 60 upon 12, what do we get? 5. So the answer 5 is very easy to find out. We just substituted the value given W and P here. Okay, after this, now if they tell us that change the subject, make W as the new subject. So how will we do that? To make W as a new subject, we need W on the other side and everything else on one side. Okay. So first I'll just interchange the position. I'll write W upon P is equals to F. It's the same thing whether you write A is equals to B or B is equals to A. I just did that. Then as I told you, first we solve bracket, but there are no bracket. Then we solve indices. Indices are also not there. Then division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. We have division here. So P is in division. When we shift it to the other side, it will go in multiplication, so W will become F into P. Now they have told us to find the value of W when F is given as 0.25 and P is given as 52. So W will be 0.25 into 52, which is equals to 13. So these were the examples how to solve expressions and how to solve the formula, and also change the subject. How do we change the subject? Now the third subtopic for this chapter is expanding brackets. Okay, very simple. As the name says, expanding brackets means we need to basically open up the brackets. Mean in the questions there will be some brackets. We need to open up the brackets by multiplying the number which is in the front of the bracket to the entire bracket. Suppose if I say there is a number a here and small a and b here, so the variable here or the number here will be multiplied by both the terms which are inside the bracket. Then only we can say that we have expanded the bracket properly. Okay, so now very simple topic. I'll just take up few examples. There's nothing to explain. We'll just take up few examples and understand the topic. So 4x plus 6. So 4 will be multiplied by x. I'll get 4x plus the sign carries. This sign only will be carried here. 4 6 are 24. Okay. The second example we will just take of subtraction. So now when 6 multiplied by the first number, 6 4s are will be 24t. We will carry the same sign minus here. 6 2s are 12s. Okay. Now we will take up one more example which is having power also more than 1. Okay, 4x square bracket 5x plus 4. It's similar to what we did in the first and second, just the power is more than 1. Just took a number which has more power. So what do we do at that time? So 4x square into 5x. So first we multiply 4 and 5. I get 20. Then x square into x. X square into x, indices. X square into x. We have already done indices, okay, in the last lecture, and also I have uploaded a video for indices. So x raised to 2 into x raised to 1. That means we add the powers. So this becomes x cube plus, the sign is plus here. 4 into 4 will be 16. X square remains as it is because there is no x here. Okay. So this remains as it is. Now sometimes it's not only expansion, sometimes there are big numbers to expand and there are like terms also. So we collect the like terms. So let's take up one example where we have like terms and we need to collect them and write the answer in the simplified form. So now here x into x becomes, here power is 1, 1 and 1. 1 and 1 will give us 2. So x square plus x into 4 will become 4x plus again x into x will become x square plus x into 7 will give me 7x. Now we will collect the like terms. So x square and x square is the like terms. So 1x square plus 1x square is 2x square plus 7x plus 4x will be 11x. So here we expanded also. We had two brackets, we expanded them. Then we collected, here we did expansion also, we expanded. Then we collected the like terms and then we wrote the simplified answer at the last. Okay, so this is what is expanding brackets. Very simple subtopic. Okay, very simple to understand. Okay, so there are 3 more topics that we will cover in the next video, because otherwise the video will become too long and too lengthy to understand also. I'll just take a quick recap of what we did in this video. First, we understood what is expression, formulae and equation. Okay, then we did the first point we covered, that is constructing expression. We learned how to make the expression. Okay, how do we create an expression? That means how do we make an expression from words to expression and expression to words, that we did in the first subtopic. The second subtopic was using expressions and formulae. What we did in this, we just understood how do we use the expression and find the value. Also, how do we apply the formula and change the subject of the formula, that also we understood in this topic. So how do we find the value and how do we change the subject? And the third subtopic which we studied was expanding bracket. So what did we learn here? We learned how to expand the brackets, as many brackets given, and then also how to collect the like terms after that and write the answer in the simplified form. So these three topics we covered in this video. The chapter is not yet finished. The chapter will be continuing in the next video also. We have 3 more topics to cover that we will cover in the next video. Till then, if you have any doubts, please comment the doubts below. If any queries, I'll answer your messages as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.